Hey everyone, this is Jim for SDC International Shipping. I'm here with Rob. Rob, how's it going?
It's going well out here. How are you doing in Florida there?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We were just talking a little bit about before I hit the record button, what was going on with the bridge incident. For those of you watching, we're making this recording on the a few weeks after it happened, and I was thinking about the containers that were on the ship. The Some of the containers were destroyed, right? And some of them were just sitting there still.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that catastrophe, that incident, some people lost their lives. But if you look, it's a container ship, and the containers, of course, as normal on the vessel, they're loaded on top and secured and all of that. But yeah, a lot of them in the front of the forward part of the boat, the vessel, are damaged or destroyed. I don't know the extent to which that actually happens to be, but the vessel is still there.
Yeah,
They haven't moved it. It's part of the evidence. It's part of the forensics of what happened. And so, that is important, I think, in the international shipping world, whether it be commercial or residential,
yeah.
on the residential relocation thing, to understand, like, how does it affect people? And so that's what we were talking about earlier.
Now, for those of you who haven't watched, maybe Rob, there's some people who heard kind of sort of about it, but they really don't understand the basic story. Can you just quickly just touch on the basic story? What happened?
Yeah, so we have containers on a vessel that are shipping somewhere. Let's just say they're going to London or Southampton or wherever, and they're coming out of the harbor, from the port in Baltimore. The boat hits the bridge because it had a power failure or whatever happened. The iron bridge then falls upon the deck, the open deck of the vessel, damages the containers and the boat, and people lost their lives. Like I said, it's
Yeah.
terrible. And so now everything's kind of frozen in place and time.
Mhm.
And so then the question then becomes, for everyone who has items upon that vessel, how does that affect us?
Yeah.
Whether it's commercial or whatever, because the boat is still there. It's right there, hasn't moved, and none of the containers have been offloaded.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen relatively quickly right now. But yeah, I think that's people are asking questions and they want to know.
Now, for those who don't really know the ins and outs of the containers, let's say basically we have a 20-foot container, right? We have 40-foot containers. And
Yeah.
the idea of the container is that the items inside the container are secure from wind, rain, whatever.
Sure,
But
absolutely.
those aren't waterproof, are they? They're
No,
water resistant.
mostly they are waterproof. They're they're
Oh,
they're water they're water contained, so there shouldn't be a problem. I mean, not waterproof if the vessel were to sink.
yeah,
Water's going to get in there because the containers otherwise would float. It'd have more buoyancy than
yeah.
mass. But yeah, they've been damaged, and normally a container doesn't get damaged. So some of them have been smashed, some of them haven't. I'm not sure if any have gone overboard, but there's significant damage going
Right.
on.
I know in the past we talked about insurance a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm remembering you mentioning there's all kinds of insurance. You could insure every single item to the 18th, or you could insure one item and leave the rest uninsured. Just hit on the insurance just a little bit. What types of insurance
Yeah.
are there?
So let's revisit that a little bit. So you've got, really, in marine insurance, you've got two different types of insurance. You really have three, but let's just go with two for now. You have all risk insurance. That's kind of like the first class of insurance. That's everything. It's the premium. It's the Cadillac. And that means that whatever happens, if one item is damaged, one item is missing, three items, all items, the boat sank, you're covered. And of course, this is all predicated upon, what your valuation of the inventory list happens to be. When I
Yeah,
say your, I mean the client, that's moving. And so that's the all risk. That's the Cadillac. And so in this case, well, let's set that aside for now. And then there's also total loss.
Mhm.
Total loss insurance means the ship sank or a bridge fell on it and everything was lost. Everything. It can't be one thing. Well, my favorite 19th century French sofa was broken, but everything else is good.
Mhm.
No, it's all or nothing.
All or nothing.
Right. So you've got the Cadillac, which is total loss. Sorry, all risk, full coverage, we call it sometimes. And it's you can pick and choose or everything. And if one item or, 6 items or all items, you're covered. The other is everything the boat sank.
Yeah.
So in this situation, though, it's a little complex because the boat didn't sink.
Mm.
And, it's out of port. So it has shipped. The shipping has happened. But we don't know exactly what the loss happens to be.
Yeah.
And so that gets a little bit dicey. This is a 1 in a bazillion, situation.
Yeah.
Thankfully, but it's a little dicey. But ultimately, whatever the loss is, and whatever insurance the client happened to have,
Right.
the shipper happened to have, it's going to predicate what the benefit is.
So if somebody's coming to you and they're making a shipment from Los Angeles or wherever to somewhere in the UK, do they seem concerned about having the right kind of insurance? Are they concerned about the load in general? Are there usually 1 or 2 things that are sticking out to them that they're worried about, or haven't you noticed anything like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it depends. It doesn't matter where people are going. It becomes down to the value and the replaceability of the items that are being shipped.
Yeah.
And so again, sometimes clients will just say, "Look, if the ship goes down, I want to be covered." Sometimes clients will say it's shoes and books and linens and things, but there are 5 items that are worth $20,000 each.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, let's ensure
No.
full coverage, all risk for those 5 items. That way, you're covered no matter what. I mean, things rarely happen.
I know.
Bridges almost never fall down because they're hit by a ship.
Yeah.
Except when they do. And this one, and then I was, you're in Florida, and I'm from Florida, and I remember when the Sunshine Skyway Bridge fell down.
Yeah.
Because a boat hit it in a storm.
Yeah.
These things happen. Rare.
Yeah.
That's the point of insurance.
That's good. Actually, an entire condominium collapsed down in the Miami area earlier this year, remember? Or late last year. Yeah, same thing. We don't think it's going to happen, but I guess that's the idea of insurance.
Never happens until it does. And yeah, that was the steel structure was rusted because of the salt air over many decades, in fact.
Yeah.
And surprise. So yeah, things happen. It's unlikely. Low probability, high consequence is one of the things we think about.
Yeah. So, well, it's great when somebody comes to you guys at SDC.
Yeah.
You'll explain everything about their insurance options, and based on where that person's at, they could, depending on the personality, I know some people are prone to buy as much coverage as possible, where others have a higher risk tolerance and they're, willing to let it go.
That's right. We're experts at this. This is all we do here at SDC. And so we're able to, myself, or any of our relocation specialists are able to kind of walk through that based on the clients, what their needs are, what their profile is, and what what the best outcome is. And it reminds me of a movie from the early 70s, before my time, more or less, and Burt Reynolds' first movie. He said, someone asked him, "Does he have insurance?" And he says, "I don't believe in insurance. There's no risk in it." But we don't exactly look at it that way. And insurance from a residential relocation standpoint is not a profit center for us. It's really something that, we need to evaluate the needs of our clients.
Yeah. So it's there for the client when they want it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Rob, as always, we'll put your information on the screen.
Great.
With your extension, people can reach you. I know you always pick up the phone if you're available.
That's right. That's my rule.
Yeah, we got plenty of information also at sdcinternationalshipping.com if people want to read the different moving tips. Well, hey, it was great talking to you again. And for those of you watching, if you enjoyed the video, share the link with a friend. And we'll see you all in the next video.
Great. Good to see you, Jim.
It was good seeing you, Rob. I'll see you next time.
Okay. So long for now.
All right. Bye.